Warm tonight. There are some folks who call this home and will spend the night quite literally out in the cold. A brown and white pit bull stands guard at the entrance to a homeless encampment on the west bank of the White River just off downtown.
It's rough. It's really rough. We live in a tent. It's snowing, as you can see. It's very cold out here. Especially today, it's like in the zeros.
In a neighborhood just the other side of Kentucky Avenue, it's cold too, but a roof and central heating ward off the sub-zero temperatures. There's no such roofs or central heating for the dozen or so people who live just south of the I-70 overpass.
We got a heater, and we got the big propane tanks, and we get money sent to us from friends, so we're able to contain. That'll last us 4 days. And so we'll have heat for at least 4 days.
Michael Burke says he and his wife won't go into a shelter tonight because they don't want to be split up. Tennessee and Anthony Voorhees are together tonight, but their kids aren't with them.
At the moment, they're staying at their grandma's, and that's where they're going to be until it gets fixed because it's too cold here for them.
The temperature inside the Voorhees rental home has dipped into the lower 60s since their furnace went up.
The next 24 hours. So on this Monday, the dangerous cold is around all this afternoon and into this evening through tomorrow. The other thing I want to talk about, though, is the potential for some snow. That's going to be moving in during the second half of this afternoon and during the evening. Now, we're only talking about half of an inch up to an inch at the most, but because temperatures are so cold, that snow will stick right away. And with a breezy northwest wind, it could reduce visibility at times, causing some travel impacts this evening. Luckily, it's a holiday. A lot of folks not on the roadways, but for those of you who have to be out and about tonight, it's something to think about. Here's a look at First Alert Radar. It's easy to tell where the snow is, at least the more concentrated snow shower.
Our next story is from the Red Sea. It has been 30 days and tensions in this critical waterway refuse to die down. The Houthis are still on a rampage. They continue to attack cargo ships, forcing shipping giants to reroute their vessels and invariably disrupt the global flow of trade. The US and allies are taking countermeasures, but their actions are far from dialing the tensions down. Let's just take a look at what unfolded in the last 24 hours and what impact it will have on shipping and global trade in the days ahead. Now, to start with, on Sunday, the Houthis fired an anti-ship cruise missile towards an American destroyer. Fortunately, a US fighter jet shot the missile down before it could hit its target. This attack was the first reaction from the Houthis since the US and the UK launched strikes against their launch sites in Yemen. Now remember, just last week, American and British warplanes launched dozens of airstrikes across Yemen, and these strikes were in retaliation to months of attacks on Red Sea shipping, On your screen are satellite images, in fact, of the damage that was inflicted on airports and other structures.
Occurred due to a shaped charged shell hitting the tank's vulnerable spot. The APC that followed the tank was abandoned. The Ukrainian drone skillfully ignited it by flying inside. Shortly after, it exploded, and you can see what's left of the Russian APC. 2 more Russian tanks attacked in the same location. The first tank was hit by a Javelin missile. The second tank cautiously advanced, but fell into a trap. It was hit by an FPV drone, and the crew scattered. Russian tanks find it nearly impossible to break into Krenki. These 3 Russian tanks were in the wrong place at the wrong time. After the first artillery hit, the crew started running away, abandoning their tanks without attempting to fight. Naturally, the abandoned tanks were incinerated by Ukrainian FPV drones.
It was a 50-foot fishing vessel. 4 crew members that were on board rescued by Cape Elizabeth's fire department around 1:30 in the morning. No injuries reported. This high tide that is happening right now, it is strong, it's nasty, it's gnarly, and the fire department that I spoke with a moment ago said, we don't think we're going to be able to salvage this boat, at least right now. They may have to wait for a full other high tide cycle. What we're noticing also about this boat, it's not being rocked quite as much as it was.
This all broke overnight as many of its employees, hundreds I should say, lost corporate access when they received notice that the roles had been eliminated completely. Many who are said to be part of its core engineering departments that focus on products like a Pixel phone, Fitbit watches, and the Nest thermometers, amongst others. Now, the tech giant tells me these layoffs are part of its normal course of business, and departments may continue to see changes throughout this year as we did last year. Take a look. We've got a statement up on your screen from Google this morning saying, quote, we're responsibly investing in our company's